Ms. Reda, can you just make sure that we are live streaming?
Yes, just a minute.
Make sure that we are live streaming.
Yes, just a minute.
Make sure that we are live streaming.
Yes, you're live. However, there's an echo.
Now there's no echo, right?
Yeah, perfect.
Now it's okay.
Yes, you're live. However,
Still
there's an
echo?
echo. No.
No echo, right?
Yeah, perfect.
Now it's okay.
You're live. However,
Still echo?
no.
Echo, right?
Yeah, perfect.
Now it's okay. Still echo?
No.
Right?
It is echoing.
I don't
It
think
is
so.
echoing.
It's echoing?
So if you're opening the live from your laptop, can you mute it, or from your
I did.
mobile? If you're opening the live from
I
your
did mute it.
laptop, can you mute it, or from your
I did.
mobile?
I did mute it.
Laptop, can you mute it, or from your mobile?
I did mute it. Just a minute. Just a minute. Just a minute. Just a minute, Mr. Muhammad. We'll just fix the problem. Just a minute, Mr. Muhammad. We'll just fix the problem. Just a minute, Mr. Muhammad. We'll just fix the problem. Ms. Reda, am I live streaming on LT-SIG, right? Ms. Reda, am I live streaming on LT-SIG, right? Ms. Reda, am I live streaming on LT-SIG, right? Ms. Reda, am I live streaming on? That's it. Alhamdulillah. We managed. No,
Great.
I don't think, yes, I don't think there is an echo right now, right?
It's resolved, yeah.
Alhamdulillah. Finally, finally we are live streaming. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So let me share my screen. And I think, Ms. Reda, there are some people waiting.
Yeah.
Okay. I think now you can see my screen, right?
Right.
Okay. So hello everyone and welcome to LT-SIG second webinar in October. This is Dr. Heba Othman, coordinator of LT-SIG, and I have Mrs. Gheda Wasif with me here. She's one of our like brilliant and professional steering committee member. And today we have a special guest. He's one of the superstars of social media, right, Mr. Muhammad, and one of the most professional trainers. Guys, I'm sure we are going to enjoy the session, inshallah, today. It's about common mistakes to avoid when teaching reading. Before introducing Mr. Muhammad, let me just give you a brief about Nile TESOL special interest groups. So Nile TESOL is a non-profit association for English language teachers in Egypt and globally. The Nile TESOL special interest groups, or SIGs, are the lifeblood of Nile TESOL. They are Nile TESOL tool to empower the teachers all over the country. Together, these groups provide the means to ensure greater participation of individual membership in our professional organization. All our workshops and webinars are under the guidance and support of Dr. Sana Makhlouf, Nile TESOL President, and of course Mrs. Maha Hosni, the SIG's chair. We have like different SIGs. We have teacher education SIG, young learner SIG, testing assessment SIG, professional writing SIG, special English for special purposes SIG, and we also have inclusive education and research SIG, testing and assessment, and finally our SIG learning technologies. Now it's time to start our journey with one of the most dedicated and professional trainers, Mr. Mohamed Khalaf. Ms. Ghada, would you please introduce Mr. Mohamed?
It's my pleasure, of course. Mr. Muhammad, actually, I have been waiting for that day for so long because Mr. Muhammad is a very special person in the whole career, and I myself owe him a lot. Actually, I appreciate all his efforts in the field in general. And let me introduce him, Mr. Muhammad, now, and later on, I will tell you my experience with Mr. Muhammad as a trainee. Mr. Mohamed Khalaf is a certified CELTA tutor from Cambridge Assessment English, and he is also a teacher trainer. He has been teaching English as a foreign language since 2008. 7 years later, he started his career as a trainer, as a TEFL trainer. He was the CELTA Center Manager and the Recruitment Committee Coordinator at the Future University in Egypt. That was from 2018 till 2019. He is also the founder of TEFLism, a teacher training platform. He is a teacher trainer who is not only taking it as a career, but it is truly his passion, and I can actually give a real testimony in this. Mr. Mohamed Khalaf is one of the most passionate trainers in the field of English teacher training. He's the one that trains teacher from the heart, not from the books or the curricula. Besides being knowledgeable and widely known in the field of teacher training, he is a true brother who gives all teachers advice and support whenever it is needed. I was lucky to be one of his trainees in one of the most prominent courses he offers at TEFLism, and I really appreciate his presence here today. Mr. Mohamed Khalaf, it's our pleasure to have you today.
What can I say after what you said? I'm really flattered and I'm speechless. I don't know what to say, how to respond to this. I am thankful beyond words. Thank you, Ghada.
You're more than welcome. So the floor is yours. You're inshallah today.
Mr. Mohamed, I'll stop sharing the screen. Today's session, as we said, is about common mistakes to avoid when teaching reading. So have any of your teachers ever asked you to read aloud in the classroom? Provided that your answer is yes, how did it feel back then? In this webinar, we will discuss some common mistakes that happen during reading lessons and learn how to avoid them using some digital tools. Your students will never find reading classes boring anymore. So, Mr. Mohamed, the floor is yours now.
Thank you again. Thank you very much. And honored to be with you here. Thank you for the invitation. I hope I can make it worthwhile for everybody. Maybe it's my first time with you. I hope
It
it's
will
not
not be
going to
the
be the
last,
last.
inshallah. We'll be
I
waiting
hope
for
so
more.
because I'm suffering from a common cold, or let's say a fan cold. Sorry.
Allah help you.
Okay. So without any further ado, let's go ahead. Type 1 in the chat box if you see my screen. Okay, this is amazing. So good evening again, everybody. Thank you for your attendance. And I don't want to waste time. Let me just start my timer. Okay, great. So today I'm going to talk about 10 common mistakes when it comes to teaching reading online and on site. Okay. So I wanted to make it like as comprehensive as possible in order to help you, because some of us still teach online, some of us still, or do not teach online and teach face-to-face, or a mix of both. So, okay, the first common mistake when you teach online, sometimes you cram the screen with lots of things. And I'm going to explain very quickly. I'm going to talk about each point very quickly until we reach the final slide, which is the most important one and is, to me, it's the most common mistake, and people do not consider it even a mistake. The last one. Okay, number two, not giving students control over the text. This is again when teaching online, only when teaching online. So let's go back a little bit. The session is about 10 common mistakes when it comes to teaching reading online or on site. The first one is cramming many things in one slide. The second one is not giving students control over the text. And as I promised, I'm going to explain each one briefly until we arrive at the last slide, which is the most important slide for me and the most common mistake when it comes to teaching reading, whether online or on site. I'm really sorry for the different voice. It's not what you're used to because I'm struggling with common cold, or I hope not the fan cold. Anyway.
Speedy recovery. Your
The
voice
third
is
one
really
is
clear.
okay, great. But it's a little different, right? Sure, it's a little different.
Not really.
Okay, great. Number three is not allowing access to questions. So students are not, or do not have the questions at the same time with the screen, and I'm going to tell you how to solve this problem. Number four is actually not teaching the needed vocabulary. And we have another relevant point here, which is pre-teaching irrelevant vocabulary. Number six, it's another mistake that is not only relevant to teaching reading, it happens with so many types of lessons. And today we're going to tackle this through like 2 slides, number 6 and number 7, which is no personalization when it comes to reading or any other branches of or aspects of language. Number 8 is not giving the students a clear task. 9, reading or not allowing the students to read the text more than once. And the final one, and the most common one, is asking students to take turns reading out loud. So please bear with me. Number 10 is gonna be quite shocking. And if you attend the whole session or attend the live video on this SIG's Facebook group, Dr. Heba and Ghada will send you a link to a quiz. If you keep attending, if you stay here till the end, there is a quiz out of 10 points. Very simple one. That will, once you do it, you will be sent a certificate as soon as possible. So without doing the quiz, you're not gonna receive a certificate. So stay with us here on Zoom or watch it live on Facebook in order to do the quiz, which is gonna help you get the certificate. Okay, the first one is very obvious, which is cramming many things in one slide. We feel like it's okay sometimes, but once the students see this, what happens? The questions are clear, but the text is too small. So once the students see this, it's an immediate turn off. They're disengaged. Okay, I'm not going to take much here. And in the third slide or the fourth slide, I'll tell you how to avoid this. Okay, not giving the students control over the text. This is another problem when it comes to teaching reading. What if they needed to scroll up? If they want to scroll up or to scroll down, how would they feel if they have this urge to scroll the text up or to scroll it down and they're not allowed? Again, disengaged. Yeah, or confused. Good job. The third one is about no access to questions. So if you're using only PowerPoint to teach reading, The problem is you cannot display the questions and the text at the same time. This is somehow impossible because text normally bigger than the screen, and or sorry, bigger than the slide, and the dimensions are not always aligned with the PowerPoint dimension. The dimensions of the text are not always aligned. And again, we're going to see how we can solve this. So are you trying to develop their reading sub skills or their memory? If they don't have the text displayed at the same time with the questions, so you give them the text, they read it, then they see the questions, or you give them the questions, then remove them and move on to the text, you're testing or developing their memory, not their reading sub skills. And I know that we are, as teachers, we're conscientious by nature. We want to develop everything all at once. It's not possible. We're not magicians. Okay. Sometimes we just throw the text at the students without teaching them the blocking words. And in order to calm our conscience, sometimes we ask them to read very quickly and underline the difficult words. Or after they finish reading, we ask them this question: were there any difficult words? And these two questions are actually dangerous. Can anyone tell me why I think these questions are dangerous? Like one word or like one phrase, you don't have to write a complete sentence. Why do I think that these questions are dangerous to be asked after reading or before reading a text? Before they read, you ask them to underline, or after they finish reading, you ask them about difficult. We all ask this question at the point of our lives, and some of us are still asking these questions and we think they're good. They're not. Why do you think they're dangerous? I enjoy your answers. Yes, yes, different levels. It kills guessing skill. Thank you, Shireen. Shy students. Thank you, Sophie. Shy students will not enjoy that, might not answer at all, or might not respond to them at all. They will not ask. Yes, this is one of the answers. Yes, I'm glad you're getting the right answers. Okay, good job, everybody. It might give misleading information. Yes, Marwa Bayumi, lazy students also might not ask. Okay, might not read anyway. So these two questions are dangerous because they might lead to two different extremes. One of the extremes was mentioned directly in the chat box by you, which is shy students might not ask anything, might not respond to the questions. So some kind of awkward silence might happen. If the whole class is shy, awkward silence will definitely happen. But if this class is quite enthusiastic, another disaster might happen. You will be attacked as a teacher, maybe by tens or like 30, 40 difficult words in one text, especially if the level was high and the text is sophisticated, or the level was low and the text is, a little difficult. That will take the lesson to another alley, which is not reading. It will turn the lesson into a vocabulary lesson. Let's agree that your main aim for this lesson is developing the students' reading sub-skills. What will happen if you keep answering questions about words, if you keep defining words? Are you actually ready to define 30, 40 words on the spot as a teacher? Are you actually ready all the time to do that? Is that possible? So I myself do not want this to happen to me. So I'm not going to invite it. And again, the the purpose or the main aim behind the lesson is developing reading sub skills, not broadening the vocabulary range. Okay. So if you get like hundreds of words or tens of words to define, that is not good for any teacher unless you spent the previous night awake trying to make sure that you know the definition for each word. Even a native speaker will not be able to define all these words appropriately on the spot. So it has to be prepared. And even if you prepare that, what's your aim of the lesson? Is it vocabulary or reading? And to be honest with you, cramming lots of things, vocabulary, reading, grammar, listening, speaking, writing. I see some schools forcing the teachers to do that. So they do everything and the students get everything with low quality. But if I give them like 2 aims in the lesson and they take them with high quality and they're able to use them, apply everything they learned like 70-80% in their lives, that's better than giving them 100 aims without, being able to apply this outside the classroom walls. The problem is we teach sometimes to the test. We need to change that, but this is not our topic today. So these 2 questions are dangerous. So what should we do? We need to teach we need to teach the blocking words only. And the blocking words are not the words we feel difficult. Let's assume that we think that there are 15 to 20 difficult words in the text, because we've been working with these students for a while and we've seen them, we experienced some situations with them, and we can say, and we can tell that their level is gonna, or they're going to struggle with 1, 2, 3, these 15 words. Are you going to teach the 15 or the 20 difficult words you think that they're not gonna understand their meaning in the text? 20 words? Yes or no? If you know that these 20 words are difficult and they're gonna struggle with them, are you going to teach them all or not? So Ghada says no, Amira says no, Safi. Okay, no, all orally, all of them. This is Yasmin's answer. Okay. Only keywords. Let's ask Amel. Amel, can you define what you mean? What do you mean by keywords? It means it's up to the desired level. Yes, this is part of it, Ghada. What else? Okay, Riham, the most important. So how do you decide on the most important words? Thank you very much, Dina El Shahat. Well done. Thank you. Yes, the ones they hinder understanding, the words that block understanding. Yes, all this is great, but Dina gave me the answer I was waiting for. The words that have direct link to the exercise. So if you feel like the students will need those 5 words in order to answer those 10 questions, please do that. Only the 5 words that are absolutely relevant to the exercises that will come later. One more thing. If you feel like the students will need 12 words, 15 words in order to answer the question or in order to do the exercises, there is a problem with the text or there is a problem with the exercises. You need to adapt one of them or both of them. One more time. If you're teaching a pre-intermediate class, B1 level, and you feel, oh my God, the students will need those 15 words, those 10 words in order to be able to do the exercise. Yes, the text has 25 words, 25 difficult words. This is what I mean. But I need to teach 15 words in order to help them with the exercise. This is the wrong exercise or the wrong text. You either simplify the text and substitute these words with easier synonyms, or reduce the number of questions, or simplify the questions. Because in a reading lesson, you shouldn't exceed 5, 6 words in the pre-teach stage. We start with a lead-in, as I'm going to talk about in a few minutes. Then we move on to the pre-teach vocabulary stage. And the pre-teach vocabulary stage is not, the words are not selected randomly. The words are should be absolutely related to the exercises. Okay, this is very, very important. We do not use our taste or our knowledge of the students' needs only to select the words. We use our knowledge of the students' needs, yes, along with the exercises themselves. We check the exercises. We teach the relevant words only. If the exercises need more than 7, 8 words maximum, this is, to me, this is the maximum. Otherwise, the lesson will turn into a vocabulary lesson. And the students might get overwhelmed and distracted. Okay, so this is very important. Teach the relevant words only, and let's call them the blocking words. And when I say blocking, I mean blocking the students from answering the exercise. Okay. Okay. Beginning the lesson in a lecture mode.
Mr. Muhammad, I'm sorry to
Uh,
interrupt you. Mr. Muhammad,
yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. But
Yes.
can I
No
just
problem.
announce something? Because those who are attending on Facebook, guys, I'm gonna send the link of the quiz because the Zoom actually now it's full. So I'm gonna send the Zoom the link to the quiz in the chat box in the chat box here and on Facebook. So no problem. You can answer the quiz inshallah and take your certificates. Thank you, Mr. Muhammad.
Okay. We have 3 circles here. The red one, the green one, the yellow one. Which color do you think is the best start of a reading lesson about laughter? R for red, G for green, Y for yellow. Excellent. Good job. Good job. Okay. So the red and the yellow, I understand that we need to be transparent with our students. We need to tell them what they're learning. But please, this kind of start, when we start like that, this actually triggers the teacher-centered mode. The lecture mode is not engaging. How would the students feel when we tell them, okay, today we're going to learn important reading sub-skills or some important reading sub-skills? If the students are not happy with reading, if some students are not happy with that, how would they feel? Like, this is too direct. This is like a narration or explanation of what is going to happen. Similarly, the yellow circle, if you look here, we're going to skim and scan. Do students actually use these words in their daily life? I'm talking about teaching English as a foreign language or as a second language, not as a first language. Do students really use the word skim or scan in their lives outside the classroom to speak with friends, to speak with parents, to speak in the supermarket, to communicate a certain message outside the classroom? Who actually use these words? The word skim, scan, specific information, reading for detail. Who use such terminology? Excellent. Teachers. So please try not to overwhelm the students with terminology in the early beginning. We can start training them into learning our terminology. No problem with that. It will help us it will help us with teaching somehow, especially if these sub skills are introduced more than once during the semester or during the school year. But when we start like that, we are getting too technical too early. When you get too technical too early, there is a huge chance for disengagement again. So please avoid the lecture mode. And if your school forces you to write the aim on the board, please do not argue. But if you have an understanding coordinator, you can speak with them, you can tell them about the students' feelings when we do this. We can do this towards the end as a recap on the whole session. We can check what they learned, like we can call it a checklist, or like today's menu, or what happened today, what did we learn today, how can we use this outside the classroom, try to link what happened in the classroom with what should happen outside, or how they can benefit from this outside the classroom. If you look at the third circle, if you start like this, you're not technical, you're not attacking students with teachers' jargon or teachers' terminology, and you're giving them a chance to speak about themselves, which is going to link us or take us to the following slide. People love speaking about themselves. So if you ask them this question and let them work in pairs, everybody will speak. They will tell each other why they like this comedian or whatever. Okay. Another possible question or another possible start for the lesson, a reading lesson about laughter, is tell your partner about the last time you laughed hysterically. Okay. And you can start by telling them, like, in a minute, about yourself as a teacher. A relevant story when you laughed hysterically, what happened? Just 1 minute. Don't exceed 1 minute. 30 seconds like would be better, but 30 seconds to 1 minute, because personalization is a two-way street. So students are interested in learning about their teachers. Students are interested in talking about themselves. So personalization is a very good element in the classroom. And that goes for all lessons, not only reading lessons. What about this one? So it's a relevant question about laughter. And they're going to read later about laughter. So that can work with a higher level. Like they have some kind of, views on life. And they had to fake laughter one day. Anyway, this is how we start our lessons away from technicality. Okay. Lovely. Yes, Yasmin. Good job. Okay. Not giving students a clear task. This is like a big issue. And it is not only a reading problem. It's like about instructions. And if you remember my Ramadan series, I talked about the task cycle. A quick reminder, set the task, give clear instructions, then give them the text. If you give them the text first, if they catch the text first, they will automatically start reading, and you will be telling them the instructions. So you deliver the instructions while they're trying to make sense of what they're reading. They're not listening. Some of them are listening, some of them are not. Some of them are able to do the task on their own, some of them are not. And they have different pace. So you will keep getting this question for like the following 5 minutes. Teacher, Mr., Miss, what should I do? And this is actually stemmed, and you pull your hairs out because of the question, because you actually told them what to do, but they weren't listening. But the mistake is not theirs. We made the mistake as teachers by distracting them with a piece of paper or with a book page. Look at page 15. So everybody is looking at page 15. So you're giving them the instructions while they're trying. So the human brain, especially when it comes to a foreign language, cannot function this way. They're doing one task, which is trying to make sense of what they're reading. And honestly speaking, no matter how clear your instructions were, they're not actually listening, or they're not paying full attention. And this is your problem, and you're gonna pay for that, which is repeating yourself over and over again. And the mistake is so simple. So if you are in a real class, you can display the text without giving it to them. If you are online, I'm gonna show you what to do in a moment. Okay, so you set the task, you give instructions, then give them the text. And please, do not just consider this as a piece of instruction. Read this text, then you give them the text. This is not a task. Always comes with and. Read this text and come up with the best title. This is for main ID. Read the text and answer the 5 questions below. Read the questions first, then go back and read the text. So read the text, then you give them the text is not a piece of instruction, is not a task. Because this way, when they read the text, then you give them the questions, you are testing their memory again. So it's not the best option. Okay, so if we move on to the third point, pair check. While they're doing the task, please do not distract them while reading. Stop talking. Yes, some teachers are not happy with their silent, but reading needs concentration. If you set the task effectively, if you give them clear instructions, and you make sure that they're able to do it, stop talking, because you're interrupting their train of thoughts. You're making their life more difficult. You're not helping them. Okay? Make sure that you give a clear task, then monitor lightly. Check what's happening lightly. Do not interrupt. And again, if you feel like the whole class is struggling, there is something wrong with your instructions, maybe something wrong with the lesson preparation, the text is too difficult or the task is too difficult, you need to stop, ask them to put the books face down or the handout that has the text face down and fix the problem. But do not just fix the problem one by one, because that will kill your vocal cords, this area. Okay, so if you feel like it's a common problem in the class, stop the activity. Once they finish doing the task, they can check in pairs, every 2 together, which provides them with a safe environment before you check feedback or give feedback to the task at the end. Feedback, when you give feedback to the task, maybe by giving them an answer key, displaying the answers on the screen, nominating some students, and so on. So please do not give the students the task. Sorry, do not give the students the text before you set a clear task with them. Mistake number 9, reading the text only once. If you're developing reading soft skills, definitely they will need to read the text more than once in order to make sense of it, in order to comprehend the text. And by the way, normally when we teach reading lessons, we have at least two reading sub-skills, and they require two different types of reading. And I'm not going to talk today about the reading sub-skills themselves. There was a session on that like 2 years ago. I might do it again. Uh, but I'm talking about the reading lesson itself. It needs to have at least two reading sub-skills tackled during the lesson. So reading the lesson or the text once doesn't feel like a reading lesson. They might not understand, they might not comprehend the text. And do not prioritize your time over the students' needs. If you want to help them develop their reading sub-skills, it needs to take its time, the time relevant to the sub-skill tackled each time. Okay, the last slide, which is the most common mistake that happens in reading classes. And I guess, yes, Ahmed Nigm, to know the main idea, reading for gist. You mean then ICQs, instructions, checking questions. Okay, good job. Read the text loudly. This is my last slide, Dalia. So let me start with this question. When you were young at school, even in Arabic classes or social studies classes or in English classes, did you really enjoy reading aloud when the teacher asked you to do that? Yes or no? I can see lots of yeses. And some people said absolutely yes or absolutely no, I'm not sure. And I could see lots of no's as well. I personally didn't enjoy that at all, to be honest. That was killing. I never enjoyed that. And here is why. What was going on in your mind when you were reading out loud? So let's imagine that you're back then to class. You're back in time, and you are in the class now, and you're reading out loud in the class now. So what was going on at this very moment while reading? Exactly. So you're too focused you're too focused on not making mistakes. And there is no chance to process what you're reading. You're not actually getting anything from what you're reading because you are reading for everybody in the class, and you know that your colleagues are judgmental and they might make fun of you after the teacher leaves. So you just want to be precise and to read accurately and not to sound boring. So you do not actually understand anything. This what used to happen to me, and I didn't like it because of that. I ranked first or second on my class when I was in primary and prep school. But I hated reading out loud because I was just focused on not making mistakes. I was focused on sounding attractive. Like, is the sound of my voice clear? Is it attractive enough? Do I sound boring? So these were the questions and running wildly in my head. So I understood absolutely nothing while I was reading out loud. And again, When does it happen? When you read out loud. Have you ever grabbed a newspaper or even a book you're studying or a book you're reading, a novel you're reading, and you read it out loud? It happens like at certain situations, very limited situations. Some religious ceremonies, like Taraweeh, like some, sermons, religious sermons. Like anyway, so it is not developing any kind of reading sub-skills. If you tell me it develops pronunciation, pronunciation is not a reading sub-skill. Okay, what else? If you haven't taken your turn, let's imagine now we are still in the class where the teacher asked us to read out loud. And you are in the situation and the teacher hasn't asked you to take your turn yet, but you know that your turn is coming. Like when Muhammad finishes, when Ghada finishes, I will read. So I guess I'm going to be reading the third paragraph. What is going on in your mind and how are you feeling? So what are you doing while they're reading? What are you doing? You know that you're going to read paragraph 3 or 4. You're busy with your part. You're not listening to Muhammad. You're not going to listen to Ghada. You're busy with your part. So your turn hasn't come yet, but you're not listening. And the one who is reading is thinking about everything else, but not the text. Thinking about his or her image. Okay? And if your turn hasn't come yet, you're reading ahead, trying to find any hard words, any difficult to pronounce words in order to manage before it comes to you. So the one who is reading is not able to understand anything because he's worried about his image or her image. The one who is not reading and still going to read in a while is busy reading ahead, so is disengaged with what is being said. And unfortunately, the one who has finished, if you have already taken your turn, how are you feeling? Or what are you doing? Yes, you might be relaxed. What else? What else? Okay, Yasmin, good job. Yes, yes, Ghada. Okay, lovely, Hosni. Yes, Yasmin, not interested, relaxed. Or maybe bored. It's boring. You're not listening. You're done. Maybe you're frustrated because the person reading after you, is mispronouncing so many words and you want the teacher to read because why should I listen to this English? I came here to listen to the teacher's English. This English has lots of mistakes. So you're either bored, you're not listening, relaxed because you've done your job, or frustrated. So why? Why? It doesn't help anyone. Or maybe you're beating yourself up. Maybe you mispronounced a word or two and you're just beating yourself up, blaming yourself for not pronouncing correctly, thinking about your image, thinking about the comments that your colleagues are going to throw at you after the class. So if you look at the green circle, the one who is reading is not engaged. The one who's waiting to read is not engaged. The one who has finished is not engaged. So who is engaged then? Please stop asking your students to read out loud. Stop reading out loud for them. Don't turn it into a listening exercise. We have listening classes. Okay. I still have 4 minutes. I just timed myself to 45 minutes. I still have 4 minutes, 45 seconds. And it's time to quiz. We're not going to answer this here or now. They're going to send you a link. Dr. Hiba and Miss Ghada Wasif, they're going to send you a
Yes,
link.
at the end of the session, inshallah, when you're done, Mr. Muhammad, we're gonna send the link here and on Facebook.
Okay, I still have a few minutes, right?
Sure, sure. Go ahead.
Okay, let me show them how I prepared this lesson or this reading lesson about laughter. So this is how it looked in the book itself. If I display the book for the students, even if I maximize, if I zoom in, is it zoom in, right? Am I correct? Is this
Yes.
zooming in or zoom?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
right.
because I'm doing this, I'm doing this, which is out, but zooming
Yes.
in means like making it bigger. Okay. So this is what I was talking about. The students have access to the questions, but they have no control over the text. If they want to scroll down or scroll up, they're not going to be able to do that. And that would be very frustrating because we read at different levels of pace. We don't have the same speed when we read. Some of us are very fluent, some of us need just to, and this is another story. I'm not talking about this today and how to fix it. This is related to reading sub skills, which is not our topic today. So how did they fix this? How did they create something that is more reader friendly? Look at that. I used Google Form. So you need to be a little bit creative. I took a screenshot from the first part, then two other screenshots. Then I provided the questions here. Google Forms is is an amazing tool, to be honest. I said is because I'm talking about the application. Some people fishing for grammatical mistake. So this application, Google Forms, is an amazing one when it comes to so many things, like evaluating the students and giving them automated feedback. And when you send them the link, they will be able to use it. Let me share it with you in the chat box. You can all open it and see how reader friendly it is. You can zoom in the way you want on your screen. You can actually scroll up and down. Yes, this is for online. If you click here, I sent it to Amira only. I'm sorry. Everyone in the meeting. Lovely. Okay. So you will see how user-friendly it is. We can make it on PowerPoint, but that will, as I said, would it be possible to display the questions and the text on one slide? Or will it look like my first slide cramming everything on it? So it will come at the expense. If you want to give them the text and access to questions on one slide, the expense here will be disengagement because the text will be small, maybe too small for people to read. And they will not be able to scroll up or down. And Google Forms will give the students a lovely type of experience when they can go through the text the way they want, and read the questions, maybe go back to the text and so on. It will be theirs. They will be able to do whatever. And the beautiful thing here is you can provide the answers. If you turn it into a quiz, if you turn the form into a quiz, you can provide them with answers. I mean, as feedback, once they click on submit here, once they click on submit, they will be able to see whether they answered correctly or not. Here, I'm sorry, I used the wrong tool. So if you upload, or if you make it while making the form, if you turn it into a quiz, you will be able to give them feedback. Once they click submit, you don't have to go through everything on your own. It will give them the answers automatically. And I've just finished my part. Thank you very much for listening. We discussed 10 common mistakes when it comes to teaching reading. And if you haven't attended from the beginning, I'd like to show you the 10 mistakes all at once. here. If you want to take a screenshot, I'm not sure if you're allowed to take the PowerPoint
Sure.
or.
Sure.
Yes,
So
it's fine.
I'm
Yes,
gonna
it's
send it to
okay.
you, Dr. Hiba. You can upload
Uh,
it to the group and everything. It's
yes.
yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much,
And
Mr. Muhammad.
if you look at this kind of sorry, let me just. Somebody said we can use PowerPoint to sorry, to display the text. This is how it will look like if we display the text with the questions. Yes, we can do that, but again, will you divide the text into 2 or 3 pieces in order to make it readable? So will you give the students access to the questions on the same slide? If not, are you testing their memory? Because they might need the questions, they might to scroll up and down to look at the question, then go back to the text. So they do not own it. When it's on PowerPoint and you're just displaying it, they do not own it. Okay? Allow me to stop sharing. Thank you very, very much for inviting me today, Dr. Hiba and Ms. Ghada Wasif, and I
Thank you
hope
so
it was
much,
worth
Mr.
your time.
Muhammad. No, of
Thank you.
course it
It
was.
is.
It was an
It
amazing.
was worthy time. Yeah,
Yes,
it was
yes.
indeed.
And guys, it's now time. It's now time for Q&A. If you have any questions to Mr. Muhammad, would you please type them in the chat box here?
I have a question, Dr. Hiba. I would like to ask
Sure,
it, please.
Ms. Ghada. Okay, we're gonna
Yeah,
start with Ms. Ghada. Okay,
because
go
I know
ahead.
Mr. Muhammad's personality as a lecturer and a trainer is a pretty different from his personality as a CELTA trainer and assessor. So my question is, would you tolerate a Google form as a feedback for the candidates and trainees in the CELTA course?
Definitely.
Oh, great. That is good news, Mr.
But there is one other thing, Ghada, which is we need to vary the techniques. So
Yeah.
if it's Google Forms all the time,
Mhm.
where did nomination go?
Right.
Where did whole class feedback go? So we need to vary this in order not to bore the students.
Yeah, amazing. But
We
it
have
would
another
be
question
an
here.
easier
Yes.
job, yeah.
Yes, Mr.
Okay.
Muhammad, we have a question here. Can we when can we ask for reading aloud?
Actually, with young learners, this might happen to teach them how to read, not the reading sub skills. Reading sub skills, this is a different story. But when they're
Literacy.
very young and they are just learning how to read, this can happen.
Yes. And another question, how can we teach this lesson about laughter? Teacher will teach it and stop to ask or what?
So
I don't understand.
actually,
I don't get the
how to
question
teach
actually.
how to teach is not our topic today. But quickly, we start with a lead in. It should be personalized and student centered. We got some examples here. We should teach, or let's be precise. We should pre-teach the difficult words that are relevant. Let's call them the blocking words that are relevant to the tasks or the exercises. Then we give them a less challenging reading task like reading for gist or specific information. Then we move on to another more sophisticated reading sub-skill like reading for detail. Then finally, we give them something we call follow-up task or post-reading stage, like something productive, for example, speaking.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Muhammad. Those who are asking about recording, guys, the session is on our Facebook group, LT6 Facebook group, so you can easily check the session whenever time you want, so you will find it there. Another question, Mr. Muhammad. How about dealing with low achievers?
I
During the
enjoy
class?
the quality of the questions, but honestly
Yes,
speaking, each question requires a different session
a whole
because
session.
dealing
Yes.
with, yes, with low achievers, that needs some kind of differentiation. And
Yeah.
there are like easier ways to differentiate within the task, within the text. Like we prepare two versions of the text, like one with the original vocabulary and the other one with much simpler vocabulary, like much easier synonyms, or we play with the tasks. Like if we keep the text as is, we can play with the tasks. One version for the high achievers, like the challenging questions, and the other one is like simpler exercises. This is how we can try to manage.
So mainly it's all about differentiated instruction here. Yes, dealing with this.
And while monitoring, you can do this very lightly. If we have like one or two students who are struggling, we can get closer to them and try to point at the areas where they can find the answers. So we call this micro teaching without interrupting the others. If you can do this without interrupting the others, yes, go ahead. If it's going to be disruptive, no.
Ms. Ghada, do we still have other questions for Mr. Mohammed?
I hope so, Rihan.
Okay, so the rest are asking about, I think, about the quiz.
Yeah, one
Yes,
asked about does the teacher read aloud? And I guess you have already answered such a question.
Why? Ask yourself why. There are thousands of games when it comes to pronunciation. There are thousands of activities. There are books about that. Do not just use the text as a pronunciation tool, because it's gonna be quite boring. And if you're speaking, if you're reading a text that big, how do you guarantee that the students are actually listening? We have engaging pronunciation activities.
And the last question here, how can we deal with large number of classes when teaching reading?
Again. Ghada, I shared a book. It's actually a booklet about dealing with large classes. And there was a live video about dealing with large classes where I shared the PDF. I actually I took permission from the author, and he allowed me to share it.
Amazing.
And I can also share it with you. If you just write teaching large classes, you will find a live video about that, and you might find the book itself.
So we'll be
Try to find
expecting all
the booklet. And,
we'll be expecting all those material in a link, I guess, right? And we'll be sharing them with the whole.
I'll send it to
You
Dr.
can just
Heba.
expect it, yes, please, as a link, Mr. Mohammed, and we can share it with our participants here.
Okay.
So guys, I think it's time to to end the questions and to say thank you so much, Mr. Mohammed, for being with us in spite of being sick.
My pleasure.
And in spite of your busy schedule. Actually, guys, I've been organizing this meeting with Mr. Mohammed for what, Mr. Mohammed? For 3 weeks.
Yeah, for more than 4 weeks we spoke to Mr. Mohammed, and finally he found out some time to spend with us.
Honestly speaking,
we really appreciate.
I left this presentation because I don't want to recycle what I did before. All the time I try to create new materials, new sessions. So I didn't just borrow something I wrote before. This session or this PowerPoint is created today. And honestly speaking, I want to kill this kind of bad habit of procrastinating everything to the last minute. I caught cold yesterday, and I had to work, compile, and write the whole thing from the scratch while struggling with my common cold. So why didn't I do it 3 weeks ago? This is a question, if somebody can help me with that.
Maybe because you were pretty busy, maybe. Maybe it's your type of personality.
Really busy, yes, the past few weeks, and wallahi, I do appreciate, and we do appreciate.
Anyways, we appreciate it, yeah, really. And actually it met our expectations, and maybe even it exceeds all our expectations. Thank you so much.
Glad to hear that. Thank you very much.
Yes, for being with us. Guys, here is the link to the quiz. And the quiz will be open till 11 p.m. Ms. Ghada, would you please just take the link and drop it in the Facebook, please? on the
Definitely.
Facebook. Thank you so much. So, guys, the quiz will be open till 11 p.m. Tonight, inshallah. And Mr. Muhammad
I'm
is
just
going to
trying
send
to
us the
find the
link.
book for you. And
You
this
can
is
send
the
it as a
booklet
link.
for
You can send
teaching
it.
large.
Okay.
Yes, I sent you the link. They can download the book,
Okay. Thank
the
you.
booklet,
Thank you.
teaching
Thank you.
large classes.
So we're gonna send the book and the presentation to be on
And allow
our
me to send you
Facebook
the
group.
final version of my PowerPoint, Dr. Hiba, because I sent
Yes.
you the one
Ah,
that
you sent
lacks or misses the the last slide.
yes some slides. I appreciate it, wallahi, Mr. Muhammad. Thank you so
But
much for
please
being with
don't
us
upload
today.
it. Please don't upload it on Facebook before they finish the quiz,
Sure.
because
Of
it has the
course.
answer key. It has
Don't
the answer
worry.
Definitely.
key.
No, don't worry. Don't worry, Mr. Muhammad.
Okay.
So again, the link to the quiz, okay, I'm gonna
I
say
will
it again.
share it on
And Ms.
on the
Ghada,
panel.
yes, Ms. Ghada is
Yeah.
going to share it on Facebook. Then till 11 p.m. inshallah, you can do the quiz. So thank you. Finally, let's thank Mr. Muhammad for being with us today. Thank you,
Thank you very
Mrs.
much.
Ghada, for moderating and organizing the event here with me. And
More
thank
than
you all
welcome.
for being with us today. And wait for us next Saturday. We have a new webinar. Till then, let's say goodbye. Stay safe and well. See you, inshallah. Have a
Thank you
wonderful
very much.
night.
Thank you very much. You too. Thank you very much. Bye bye.